5:30. We're waiting on Sam Pete. They're having difficulties getting on, so first thing I want to do is, well, Sam's not here, but I want to introduce everybody that people are watching this. So we have Alderman Horton, Woman Lemke, Alderman Peterson. We have Alderman Pete when he gets here. I'm Jeff Cole. We have city staff here, which is Amber Pfeiffer. New Arn is on the phone, and we have Sergeant Webb, who's also on the phone. And we have this young lady here. What's your name again?
Jennifer Williams.
Jennifer Williams. She'll be taking over when New has the baby. So we're going to get started. So first item is approval of the minutes for the January 12th, 2021 meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on. 86420, communication, submitting an application for a Class B retail fermented malt beverages, intoxicating liquor licenses for Water's Edge LLC, doing business as Travelodge by Wyndham's Water's Edge, located at 3700 Northwestern Avenue, Prabhu Kasaragan, Agent, 6th District. Well, so at the last meeting, we had it deferred for them to sign an agreement with us, which they have done. We're going to try to get them on the phone right now. Okay.
I will call Patrick.
What did I do with that one? Okay, if you guys recall, the last meeting we had these guys in and they agreed to make some changes to their license. I don't know if you should have it in your packet. They've agreed to limit their hours. They've also agreed to not sell half pints and pints like that, and want to know if what Jeff's thoughts are on it, because this is his district.
I got a couple emails from the neighborhood, the condo association and the housing association back there, and I will voice their concerns, and then I will also explain that Patrick has taken care of these issues. Number one concern was the building and health code violations that had existed prior. Those were taken care of to get open. They had a concern being it was a nuisance property, and whether or not they stated they've seen some police officers there. Officer Webb has said there have been 0 complaints at this time in regards to the new hotel. Also concerns in relation to it being a hotel versus a motel and extended stays. Patrick has stated that there will be nobody there more than 29 days. It is a hotel, and they've gotten rid of the exterior doors to make it a little bit more secure. The neighborhood was also concerned about it becoming a homeless shelter again. Halo had sent some individuals over there last time, and Patrick has stated that they have no desire to accommodate homeless individuals, being that it doesn't fit with their business model. So those are 4 concerns that the neighbors were brought to my attention, and I believe Patrick has addressed all those concerns at this time. So at this time, I'm always, being that the nuisance that it was, I'm always going to have a concern. I think Patrick is trying to do his best. The fact that they are putting in a new pool and getting a permit to enclose the pool, he said the more things they can do to make the place nicer, the nicer tenants are going to get. So I think they're moving in the right direction, and I mean, time will tell, but I'm comfortable with giving them a license at this time.
And they've done everything, as far as I'm concerned, they've done everything we've asked of them. So I would entertain a motion. Jeff?
Yes, motion to approve the license.
We have a second. Alderman Horton, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Alder Cole, I had a
Discussion?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
had a comment. I just had my hand up. So
I
I agree with Alder Peterson. Officer Chad from my district over here on Anthony Lane, he's also been over there kind of like going by the hotel probably once or twice a week. He did go by there last Friday. He sent me just an email, just a text message saying that there was some broken glass out there up under the canopy, but he stayed there and they got it up. So just let you guys know that he's willing to also report to the council if you guys need any additional support out there, because he's out there at least twice a week and he know a lot of the people that work over there, and he's from the COP house out here on Anthony Lane. So he didn't say it was any complaints, but he just wanted me to pass the information on.
All right, thank you, Maurice. It's good to know. So, all right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Attorney.
Oh.
I think one of the-
Oh, hold on. Nudes, you have something to say? I'm sorry.
No problem. I just wanted to clarify, Alderman Cole, there's no agreement with the owner for the new hours and the drinks that they serve.
Oh.
However, they did submit a supplemental business plan. So if the committee wants to approve and to make sure that they abide by those hours and those requirements for the drinks, it should be a motion to approve with those specific conditions.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Jeff?
That would be fantastic. Move to approve with the amended
So how-
rules and conditions.
All right, so how does that work? We send them something, they gotta sign and send it back to us, then? It don't have to come back to committee, correct?
No,
No.
I believe, if I'm correct, that it does go recommended for approval. It'll stay in our system with their specific conditions, and then if they go through council, it gets approved.
All right, then. Thank you very much, and good luck, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you very
All
much,
right.
everybody. Thank you.
All right, talk to you
Alderman
soon.
Peterson.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Yep. All right, item 004821, communications submitting an application for a Class B retail fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Wisconsin Dream LLC doing business as Dream Lounge located at 1964 Taylor Avenue, Rico Farrell Agent, 3rd District. Yes, call them and then we'll. All right, first thing we're gonna do is, can you, you raise your right hand, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
We are here on your application today. You will have a chance to tell this committee about your business and why you're applying for this license. After that, I will read the summary of the Good Neighbors Report, and this committee may ask some questions of you. I will then check to see if city staff has any information to add, or if any members of the audience wish to speak for or against the license application. First thing I'm going to do is have our city attorney read the Good Neighbors Report.
Okay.
Thank you,
No.
Alder Cole. So instead of just reading, I'm just going to summarize the Good Neighbors meeting and what we discussed. City staff met with Mr. Farrell on January 29th, which was last Tuesday. We discussed his plans to open a bar, some of the concerns that staff has. is with respect to Mr. Farrell's lack of experience in managing a bar. He states that he helped at his father's jazz club approximately 5 years ago in Illinois. Other than that, he doesn't have any experience in managing a bar or running a bar. He's also unfamiliar with any of the laws and regulations in Wisconsin concerning alcoholic beverages. So I had to get him up to date a little bit with respect to what the closing hour requirements are in Wisconsin. So that's a little bit problematic. Mr. Farrell states that he intends to keep his full-time job that he's working right now, as well as run the bar. He states that he plans to run the bar himself. He doesn't have a partner or a co-owner. He states that he has not hired anyone at this time. So far, he seems to be taking on a lot upon himself. He did state that because of COVID, it would be slow to start with, but as things pick up, he might hire additional people. So those were some of the concerns. One of the other things to point out as well is there might be a lack of parking with respect to the area. There's no parking lot associated with this premise. So the police department did notify Mr. Farrell that if patrons arrived, they would be parking in the residential area, which might become a problem in the future.
I do have a
Then
parking lot.
yesterday, the city clerk's office received a complaint from a patron of the premises. She states that she was at the bar, which was operating illegally. She states that the bar was operating without a license, was selling liquor. She says she was there at least 2 times or multiple times. She states that the police were called the second time she was there, that when she refused to hide as the owners instructed, she was then punched in the face by the owner's wife. She stated that the owner then basically poured gasoline into the fire, encouraging them to fight. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to reach her to obtain a phone number so that she can make a statement today. And I haven't been able to reach her to get anything in writing either, but that was just made yesterday. So if you want to defer to the police department, I believe Sergeant Webb has a little bit more information with respect to any verifications on these complaints. But obviously, if it is true, it is very problematic that the bar would be operating without a license, and that there might be some question about whether there's another owner or partner who was not mentioned in any of the applications, nor at the Good Neighbors meeting. So there are some concerns from staff with respect to this particular application. But like I said, Sergeant Webb should have more information for you.
All right, we're going to hear from Sergeant Webb, and then we'll talk to you, Mr. Farrell. Sergeant Webb?
Yes. Okay, so this all came kind of yesterday when the deputy chief received a complaint. The victim stated that on January 9th, she was inside the bar, and upon police arrival, she was told to hide. When she refused to hide, she was ultimately assaulted, she claims, by the owner's wife. Much like Lou said, the owner encouraged the fight and wouldn't let anybody break it up. We do have a police call for service on the night of the incident, in which they did go out there and they located individuals fighting in the street, and that was listed initially for a shot being fired in the area. While we were going through that, we sent the email to Lieutenant Friedel, the shift commander for third shift, to have officers check this location to see if it's operating, as it doesn't have a license to do so. Earlier today, I received an email from Lieutenant Friedel in which he advised that, and I quote, "We have been aware of this establishment for several weeks. It basically acts as an after set location. It's been quiet for the past several weeks, but we make this location, but they'll check this location weekend and let us know." Again, the problem is this has been operating as an after hours. We've had this before. We have these Good Neighbors meetings so we can inform the bar owners of what's expected of them, give them the resources to succeed, but also hold them accountable. Anybody that's going to openly apply for a license but they'll still function as an after hour, generating police calls for service, have us getting emails from a young lady who claimed she was assaulted, which we're now still looking into. I think the committee should look at them and question them as to why these things are going on, and they haven't even achieved the license yet.
All right, and I got a couple things. So this place here, for as long as I can remember, was a laundromat. There is absolutely no parking there. The building's I talked to the building department today, it's about 1,000 square foot. The place has never been designed to be a bar. We have numerous bars in the location already, and I don't believe we should be giving liquor licenses to places that have really not been a bar. And if you go through Mr. Farrell's plan, I mean, you look at his drawing, and it's just a drawing that shows where doors are, doesn't show where tables would be or anything like that. But like I said, it concerns me with all the stuff that's come up. So we'll hear from you, Mr. Farrell.
Hello? Yeah. Yes.
So can you talk us through all these problems?
I don't know what you're talking about with the fighting and shooting or stuff like that. Only time I remember somebody knocking on the door is when we didn't let somebody in because me and my wife and her mother were in there. And somebody came to the door and said, "Let me in. I know my husband's in there." And we did not let her in. And she's like, "Oh, y'all go let me in." "Oh, okay." And that was it. Because it was stuff going on and they were looking for somebody, but it wasn't for us. And we do not do anything after hours at all. Especially when it comes to liquor and having people there. That is not us. I've seen people next door before when we came over there, you know what I mean? But we have not done anything. And when it comes to stuff shooting and stuff like that, I do not know where this is all coming from at all. So I'm honestly shocked right now because I did not know all this stuff was going on like that with our spot. And it was just me in there. And I remember when this lady came banging on my door, saying, "I know he's in here. I know he's in there." I'm like, "No, get her out of here. We're not going to let her in at all because I don't even know what's going on." Me and my wife were sitting in there with my mother-in-law, and we was going over a plan, and we were just happy about everything that was going to take place about the jazz club. And I don't know nothing. This is really messing me up right now. So I don't know where all this is coming from. I'm not the police. I didn't talk to no police over none of that.
Like I said, this is just reports that we've gotten in, and like I said, this place was never designed to be a bar. I mean, it's so small. There's plenty of empty bar buildings in the city of Racine. I mean, and your experience running the business really don't have a lot of that. I mean, and basically you can fit 20, 30 people, right now with COVID, 20 people in the place. And
yeah, that's perfect for us.
You look at your drawings on there, all it shows where your doors are. It doesn't have where pool tables, where chairs are, or anything like that. I mean, so I'm going to ask if any of the alders have questions.
Okay.
Maurice?
Yep. How you doing, sir? Just have a question. So, what the police department just kind of like read. So you're saying that none of that took place because it sounds like Sergeant Webb have other officers that sent in a report. So you're saying that you don't recall any of that happening?
No, that did not happen at our spot.
Alderperson Horton.
Yes.
All right. So again, we have the female victim calling in, making this complaint. On top of that, we were able to verify that a call for service was generated on the night that she's speaking of, in that area at that location. On top of that, you got the lieutenant of third shift saying that they've known about this place before, but this wasn't a one-time incident to them, to where they've been there or been in the area before, and they've known this place to be an after-hour set. So it's not
Somebody
just a one-off.
told me that next door. Somebody told me that they did that next door before. We haven't done that around our area, on our side.
So, we got any other questions?
No, I just want to hear from Lieutenant and Mr. Farrell. Just want to some clarity on that, because it sounds like before the license was even given, that there's been some activities. Now we have two sides of the story. The police department has generated a report saying that, just like all the reports that they generate for us every 2 weeks. And usually those reports come in and we read them and we go off those reports. So that was my concern. My other concern is I've been over in the area. We had another bar that's on the corner, and parking was also an issue. They were saying, and just to go back for those that have been on the council for a little while, they were saying that they were going to park in Lee's Hardware. They were going to park other places around there, and that became a problem for the residents. And as soon as they
I have
got
a parking lot.
Pardon me?
I have a parking lot.
You have a parking lot?
That'll fit
Yes,
about
I
5
do.
or 6 cars.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my concern, Mr. Chairman.
Yep. Mr. Pete?
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good
the
afternoon.
applicant. I need some clarification. It's my understanding, based on the investigative report, that the bar was open after hours. Why were the police telling me the bar was closed? That's where I'm a little bit confused.
I thought a bar is with liquor. We don't have alcoholic beverages or anything. Well, I had occupancy, but we never had a bunch of people in there after hours at all. It just was like me and my wife and her mother and I. It was family, and it wasn't more than 10 people in there, and we haven't even opened up yet. And
That's why. That's why I'm
sorry.
concerned. You're not open, but there are people in there, and there's police resources being utilized before it's even open. And the other area concern I would have is the limited parking in that area. I'm very familiar with the area, and as someone else already mentioned, there's other bars right there in the area. There really isn't any parking. That area can be very congested, and I'm thinking like an evening like this. Let's say if this were a Saturday evening with all the weather conditions, where would people park?
It'll have to be on the other side of Taylor and on the right side of 20th Street.
Yeah, I understand, but again, you have multifamily housing over there. I just don't see how we could avoid a lot of traffic congestion and inconvenience to the residents that live in that area.
And anyone else have questions? Oh, Mr. Farrell, I also have a question. So when you initially asked for an occupancy permit, you were doing some sort of gaming place. What's changed? How did that change?
It's still like the same with jazz music and everything, except for I just asked for a liquor license.
Yeah. And like I said,
it's the same thing. All I was doing was asking for a liquor license, but nothing has changed. It's just liquor. Ask for a liquor license. It's not like a bar. Like it's still going to be the same thing. And then we're not going to have big crowds at all. I'm not looking for a big crowd. We're looking for something real small, people that like jazz music, and that's it. No big crowd at all. And 20 is perfect for us, and even if it's 15, but it's perfect for us because I have 35 seats in there, and it's pretty spacious, and we did a good job setting it up, and you just have to see it. But it's just a little jazz club. It's nothing to be like a bar where it's packed and overcrowded. I'm not looking for that at all.
Right. And we did have we put out a call for around the neighborhood, we had one person call in that says it's been bad enough with the other bar there, and she, in no uncertain terms, did not want this. And like I said, there's been many times we've had bars that came up. The place was never designed to be a bar, and parking is an issue. So I have some real grave concerns about this. So I don't know if you got anything to say. Otherwise, I would ask for a motion. If any of the alders have anything to say? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
Alderman Coe.
Yep.
Okay, reference a couple things you brought up for the after hours indication. When the lieutenant says it's acting as an after hours spot, it just means that after normal bar hours closing, people are congregating at his location.
Right.
And
I know.
Because he said he wasn't open as a bar, just for clarification with that. And also, when we look at that, for the January 9th incident, in which this lady called and complained to us after the fact, and we were able to verify, we went out there on the date, the time of call for service for that incident was 4:34 a.m. So that tends to lead to the belief that at some point they were acting as an after-hours location.
Right, and I know we've had them pop up over the last probably dozen years or so at different places. So that's another thing that really concerns me. So again, is there any other questions from any of the alders? I would entertain a motion. Well, what's that? Who's making a motion?
I would move to deny the application based on the concerns by the, presented by the police department.
And parking also? Yeah. So do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? All right. Mr. Farrell, it's been denied. So,
Okay.
so we'll move forward on. So, but thank you much for calling in, for letting us call in. All right.
So with the liquor license, that means there's no liquor license, right?
That's right.
Okay. So do I get my money back or?
Yeah, you can give the clerk's office a call tomorrow and we'll tell you exactly what needs to be done.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Farrell.
All right, Brian.
All right. Next item of business. Communication on behalf of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee requesting the appearance of Mike Williams, agent for Winter Circles, located at 1403 Superior Street, pursuant to a formal expression of concern, and also requesting consideration of rescinding the formal expression of concern 4th District. So we're going to call him right now.
Okay, you are ready.
All right, the first thing can you do is raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you have been called here today because the committee has received the notice of one or more concerning incidents at your establishment. As a result, the committee has issued a formal expression of concern against you under Section 6-27 of the ordinance. If you are issued 2 within 6-month period or 3 or more in 1-year period, you will be referred to the city attorney's office for disciplinary proceeding. We will start with the police department's summary. After that, you will have an opportunity to address this committee. So, Sergeant Webb, could you go ahead?
Yeah, so there was only one incident and that kind of triggered this, and that was the December 5th, 2020 attempted homicide in which two patrons in the bar got into an altercation, left the bar, went around the corner where they proceeded with the altercation. Ultimately, one produced a gun, shot the other gentleman in the chest. He was taken to Frederick. What we went over before, we did locate the suspect. We did locate the firearm and some other items of the suspect inside the bar. Ultimately, what came up is when the investigators came out to the bar to look into this matter and try to recover video, I spoke with them afterwards, and they told me that the behavior of the bar owner, he started out okay and was assisting them, but at one point he started touching stuff, trying to remove evidence, touching the suspect stuff to where they didn't feel that his behavior was appropriate and threatened to put him in handcuffs if he didn't stop messing around and touching items, although he felt he had the right to, what he told them at the time of the incident.
All right. Can you explain yourself, sir?
Yes, sir. First, it didn't happen like that, and I did all the investigation for him. I mean, I don't know. They sitting in the bar looking at the videos 2 hours later, and there's a jacket left behind, and so I decided to pick it up and go through it to see if there was a name in the jacket. All of a sudden, the cop up there started yelling at me. You know, I mean, it didn't happen like that. The guy was leaving the bar, and the other guy was out driving down the street, seen him, made a U-turn, and came up to him and said something to him, and that's when it all started.
I mean, and the reason why you're called... Go ahead.
Go ahead. It kind of pisses me off. I did everything I could to help them get the police with this thing, and they get jump on my shit for it. You know, it isn't right.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to realize they were investigating a crime, so
they was looking at my video.
Right.
For 2 hours, two videos, and that coat was sitting there the whole time. And they didn't have a slightest idea what that coat was.
All right, well, the reason why you called in, I mean, we never hear of any problems there, but, you know, somebody got shot over there, and we're wondering if something is changing or if something's going on that this is going to be an ongoing problem, because it's been starting to spring up at different places like this.
No, these people have never even been in the bar before.
All right,
and there was no argument or nothing in the bar. Like I said, the one guy left, jumped in his car, the other guy was leaving, and the guy seen him in the thing, made a U-turn and came all the way back, parked, and they got into something, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, but I do agree with the police department. They have to have their investigation, and I mean, it sounds like you were trying to impede them, and then you got belligerent.
No. Excuse me. I have to tell you, I found out where the gun was. I told them where the gun was. I did everything. After they left, I had to call them back to have them come get the holster because they never even looked in the garbage. You know, I did everything possible. If there's a jacket laying in my bar, I will always go through the pockets to see if I can find somebody's telephone number. And I did it in front of them, and then I said, look, there's a couple phones in there. And then the guy went all haywire. I did it in front of 8 cops. You know, so I feel I didn't do nothing wrong. I was trying to help every which way possible. Okay? Sorry.
Sergeant Webb, you got anything to add?
And this is the information I got from the 2 investigators that was out there. So excuse me, I'm talking. These gentlemen, again, kind of what he's doing now is I think what he did with them because they thought he was intoxicated. So we appreciate anybody helping, but they've gone out on a lot of situations to where they've never come back and told me, like, we almost had to put this guy in handcuffs to stop him from touching stuff. So everything he said about...
Sir,
okay.
let Sergeant Webb speak.
So again, this is what they came back and tell me. So yeah, did he help? Yes, he did. They said he helped. They said, but as the day go on, they were almost wondering if he should just leave because he was touching stuff. And it wasn't the fact that he may have found these things. I'm not going to dispute that. It's the fact that once they tell you not to touch stuff and leave stuff where it is, don't touch stuff. Leave it where it is.
Okay, yeah, mute them. All right, Jeff Peterson, you got something to say?
Yes, I'm a little confused as to whether or not the individual left the bar, shot somebody, came back in. That's what it sounds like to me, but I'm not real clear. I'm not real clear.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did.
Okay, and was Mr. Williams aware that the shots were fired and the guy came back in?
No, again, in speaking with the suspect himself, he said he knew the guy, but they had a disagreement in the bar. So they chose to leave the bar and go around the corner. That's where the shooting took place. He came back into the bar, and when the police pulled up, that's when he dumped all the stuff and left. And again, this is all the parts where the investigator said the owner was very helpful. It wasn't until later on to when they were asking him not to do stuff that he was still doing. That's where the problem kind of came in with them, to where he's touching stuff they're asking him not to touch.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. So, you just can unmute them. So, Mr. Williams, I guess that's a little bit troubling. We're not going to argue about this stuff like that. You guys haven't had any problems over there at all, and something happened. It happens at other places, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it, and hopefully nothing happens again. So, and getting all argumentative is not helping the case here. So, we got any questions from anybody on the committee?
Me? Can I talk now?
No, hold on. We got.
Okay.
Who do we have? Alderman Peterson, you got something to ask?
I put my hand down.
Oh, okay. Anybody else? No? All right, go ahead. Alderman, who does?
Alderman Horton.
Oh, okay. Alderman Horton?
Yep, Mr. Chair, thank you. I would just like to recognize that he did do or try to do whatever he could, just besides he just didn't follow the directions of the police department, because an investigation is an investigation. Usually, for the most part, that place is not what it used to be, and it has been pretty quiet. The fact that happened, unfortunately that happened, and the owner, they did have the person to leave. Usually that place is a laid back place. So other than not obeying the police department when they were doing their investigation, it looks as if he was trying to do his part to allow them to find the evidence that needed to be found. So I do agree that, it hasn't been bad. I've been knowing this place for a long time when it used to be a lot going on. So I think our concern was with the shooting of bringing them in just to make sure that nothing has changed over there. And just for future reference, if anything would take place, the first thing is to call the police to make sure that you're covering, you being the owner, covering and calling the police department, letting them know there's an unwanted party or whatever it might be over there. But thanks for assisting.
All right. So I'm looking for what's your pleasure, guys? Well, we're looking at rescinding the formal expression of concern. It sounds like.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to do that, to rescind the formal expression of concern.
All right, do we have a second? Is there, Attorney Arnn, is there anything else we should add?
No, if you rescind it,
Okay.
it just means that it can't be held against him as a strike in the future.
All right, just remember, Mr. Williams, if anything happens again, let's not be so antagonistic with the police there, and there wouldn't be no issues. But it's all done for the night, so thank you for your time.
Okay then.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Voted on it.
All right.
Haven't voted on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of rescinding, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, we're good to go. Next item of business, 071120, communication requesting the appearance of Chevette Crockram, applicant for an operator's license. This is a lady that was called in, didn't show up, and well, she's been sent numerous summonses to get a hold of us, and she hasn't done anything, and she's no longer working at the place she said she was going to be working at. So I guess I would make a motion to deny this license.
Deny.
You have a second? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Moving on. Oh, how come I don't have that in mind? All right, I missed one. 003321, communication on behalf of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee requesting the appearance of Mark Springsteen, agent for Rogers Place, located at 1843 North Wisconsin Avenue, pursuant to a formal expression of concern, and also requesting consideration of rescinding the formal expression of concern. We're going to be calling him now. I don't have. Keep forgetting that. All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You have been called here today because the committee has received notice of one or more concerning incidences at your establishment. As a result, the committee has issued a formal expression of concern against you under Section 627 of the ordinance. If you are issued 2 within a 6-month period or 3 or more in a 1-year period, you will be referred to the city attorney's office for disciplinary proceedings. We will start with the police department summary. After that, you'll have an opportunity to address this committee. Go ahead, Sergeant Webb, please.
Okay, again, this was, I believe, initiated from this was started, the closest event to the last event. This was due to the December 19, 2020 assault, in which officers responded to the 1900 block of Charles, referencing the assault that occurred. The caller stated on the morning of December 19th, as the bar was closed, she was attacked by 4 unknown parties. The caller stated as a result of the assault, she suffered injuries, including what officers noted was a severe cut above her left eye. From there, the prior event was November 27th, and that was a suspicious circumstance. Officers responded there in reference to 2 males getting into an altercation, which was broken up, and there was a concern because one of the parties made a statement about getting a firearm. I'm sorry. The caller was concerned because he believed the fight continued. More people from the bar came to assault him, and he subsequently called us. The November 1st incident was an unwanted party, which was called in by the bartender due to people refusing to leave as they were trying to comply with the capacity restriction. The one before that was October 10th, was loud music for 10 to 15 people in front of the bar, being loud, playing music causing a disturbance. The October 1st event was a narcotics Party stated that the bar smelled of drugs. The party in there was on parole and not supposed to be in the bar. Again, this was all because of what appeared to be the uptake and cost of services at 1843 North Wisconsin, and the committee wanted to speak with the owner reference this just to see if anything's changed.
All right. And can you explain so there's a lot of concerns here. You guys have never been on the radar like this, and you got all these reports coming in, and not too far apart. I guess I want to know what's changed there, and what can you guys do to fix this?
Well, just commenting on the caseload. I actually I wasn't aware of the October incident. That's new to me. The firearm incident, I was one of the callers because I had heard someone make a comment, and I was just not that it, and I had been mentioned on the phone that there wasn't a visual sighting of one. It's just that someone might have made mention of it, so it was basically hearsay. But I just wanted to make sure, so I called in. I also was the bartender that called the other time too, where I thought that maybe there was an amount of concern about the crowd, being that they were just really boisterous. I didn't know if it was going to end up being a noise complaint. Didn't want that. Or turn into something more, because I didn't really know what was happening. They were just I guess they were just having a really good time, and they were exiting as I was closing up the bar. I actually think I was closing up pretty early, so I was completely comfortable, just giving the PD a call, and they had told me that they don't respond to noise complaints, or they don't respond to anything that's nonviolent. So that was that. Then there was we're going back to the November, I think it was 27, with the gun thing. The police, they responded relatively quickly, and by the time they got to the bar, everybody was gone. So it clearly wasn't anything that was in serious nature at that moment either. And now concerning the December incident, I'm familiar with it, but there was no headway with an investigation. I was out west at the time, and both my brothers were quarantined. I don't want to make any statements that are to be taken in the wrong way, but the woman in question, the woman is my daughter's mother, and from previous knowledge, I know that she's been out a lot, several bars. I'm not sure what she was doing there. Drunk. I was told that she'd come in, and she was kicked out off the premises, and apparently she waited outside for somebody or something.
All right. Can you
and being outside, I'm not sure how. Yeah. Being that I was gone and Jack closed the bar and people left. But so in the scenario that is there, and there really isn't much to go on. I understand from word on the street and from her mother herself that she's had an abusive boyfriend in and out of her life the past year or so, and I'm wondering if that might have had something to do with it.
I'm going to ask Sergeant Webb. Did they provide you the video, and was there anything on that video from the December 19th incident?
I don't believe so, but it's still being looked into. Like I said before, they did make contact with the owner, and much like he just told you guys, he advised that he was out of town. and he would do it the minute he got back. So I think they have the video. I'll double check with the investigator. They never got back to me, so I don't think there was anything to prosecute reference the incident.
I guess our concern here is, you guys have, been an uptick. You got December 19th, November 27th, November 1st, October 10th, October 1st, September 23rd, September 19th, September 5th, August 14th.
Definitely going back, yes.
This is all last year in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there seems to be something different going on there, that you're being called in all the time, and it's kind of creates a nuisance for the police department and the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get familiar with the because we've actually been trying to police the outside ourselves with the noise complaints and all, but I personally I have not experienced too many issues with it. I think there was a few times in the last time I talked to you that I think that it was just the fact that it was during operating hours and the jukebox was on and we just didn't hear anything going on. And there actually, since the last time we talked, I mean, there's been a decline in pretty much everything that I can think of. I'm usually the one on premise, so I take a significant amount of precautions for a bar that's still open. Sometimes, like, I don't even know this weekend, not that it had anything to do with this committee call, but I turn my lights off and I have one of those door locks where I can lock it where people can exit, but they can't enter. But I think that was the same. That's something I instituted, I think, over the fall, and I think that maybe has something to do with some of the slowing of everything, being a little bit more aggressive about behavior. I think with the whole COVID thing, even though the 50%, the capacity's gone up, I have not added any chairs. I have 8 chairs along a 45-foot bar. There's a group of 3, and then a group of 2, and another group of 3.
All right, I'm going to ask any of the committee members if they have any questions. Any committee members? Alderman Peterson first, then Alderman Horton.
Yes, for Sergeant Webb, I take a little less, or I put a little less emphasis on calls that are originated from the bar owner. He stated he called for the possibility of the gun. I don't know if that's in your report or not as to who called, but in these 5 reports, how many of them have been from the bar owner or the bartender or bar owner?
So when you look at the report, it'll say the caller. Sometimes it'll say unknown. And if it's from the owner of the bar, it'll say caller owner or caller patron or caller employee. So he's right about some of these incidents he's called on. I think the biggest concern was the assault that happened on December 19th while he was out of town, and just a general uptick in calls for service. So, for instance, if you go to the November 1st incident, it says the caller bartender stated the bar was over capacity due to a large crowd. So it'll dictate if they call specifically.
All right, thank you. I don't think the December 19th one is totally played out yet. It sounds like he's trying to act responsible and calling and, trying to clear a crowd that's too big for himself. I have a hard time holding it against him without the December 19th one not being played out yet.
Alderman Horton? Okay. Any other questions, Jeff? No? Okay. Alderman Horton?
Yeah, I just want to follow up Alder Peterson, but I think Alder Peterson just cleared it because I kind of got lost in, the reason we called him in. I thought it was just the December 19th with the female suffering injuries. And I don't know, I know you talked a little bit about girlfriend. I don't know if that was the victim or not. I kind of got lost in a little bit. So just want to get back to kind of like our main, the main reason that we brought him here. But surely not opposed to all the other call-ins. Try not to go back too far, but those are call-ins anyway. They're still call-ins. So just wanted to focus in and I guess Sergeant Webb, is this last case, is it still being looked into or no? Because he was out of town, right?
Yeah, so at the time of this incident, they did make contact. I got contact with him, and he said he was out of town, and he will provide the video to the police department, which he did.
Okay.
Give me just a second. I'll look up the case right now.
If you want a little bit more information, I can help you out.
Anybody else? And the reason why we called you again is because we just had you in here on October 13th for an uptick in things, and it didn't seem like they've really calmed down any. So that's where our concern lies. And it takes a lot of police resources and stuff like that, so. You got any?
Well, I think last time in October, you guys did make. I think the police department itself that they stressed me calling in, like actively calling in, and to call in on a potential noise complaint, to call in on a crowd that entered that refused to wear masks and refused to leave. My response from the police department was they do not respond to noise complaints. They do not respond to the mask violations and the capacity violations, because I'm not going to say that they said it was a health department issue, but from what I understand, it's not something the police department actively enforces, even if I call and tell them I have an unwanted party. Because I essentially was telling them they just didn't have masks, and they weren't leaving.
All right, what's the committee's pleasure?
To rescind letter of concern.
We have a motion to rescind the letter of concern. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, opposed, no. All right, just try to be a little bit more careful out there on dealing with the people.
I'm trying my best.
Alderman Coe?
Yes.
I'm gonna send a request to get this gentleman's phone number. I'm gonna send it to New. I'll give you a call later on this week so we can talk about that. Because if you're calling the police for an unwanted party, I don't know who's telling you we're not gonna respond, but I'm telling you we are gonna respond. So we're gonna fix this bridge for you, okay?
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't have any. I haven't increased. Technically, I haven't increased my capacity. I think I was a little bit over 22 this week, which would have been my 25% point. But I feel comfortable working in that environment. It's easier to handle, and especially around closing, or even like I understand why bars sometimes will shut it down at 1:30, on a weekend. It's just easier. But I'm sure, like you guys know, we didn't have issues like that before, so we didn't need to operate in that fashion. And I just think that continuing to, because we get those young kids that come in, and they like to do that. They like to stay out late and just try to not cause a problem. We don't want to. Nobody wants a problem. So.
All right then.
I'm pretty lucky. I'm pretty lucky where they generally listen to me pretty well. But I'll keep up on it. So.
All right. Well, thank you much, sir, and good luck.
Yes. You guys have a good night. So. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Item 006921, communication on behalf of the City of Racine Police Department, liaison of the Police Safety and Licensing Committee requesting the consideration of the licensed premise report for 1/26/21 and any formal expressions of concern pursuant to it. Anything pop up, Sergeant Webb?
So, on January 16th, there was a shots fired incident at 1814 Taylor Avenue, TVG's. Officers responded to the bar reference shots fired. The caller stated she heard 2 shots outside of her house and observed a group across the street from the bar. Upon arriving, officers located 2 casings and 1 unfired bullet. Officers made contact with the owner of the bar. The owner advised he believed the parties were in his bar prior to the incident. The owner advised he would provide the bar video to officers. Again, the investigators went out to recover the video. Initially, when they called, someone answered the phone and said the bar owner wasn't there. They ultimately told that gentleman that he needs to put the bar owner on the phone, at which time the bar owner kind of got on the phone and spoke with the officers. When they went to retrieve the video from the night of the incident, it could have been mechanical failure. We don't know, but there was only an hour of video on their system from the hour prior. So if they went in there at 4 o'clock, their video only recorded from 3 p.m. that day to 4 p.m. that day, and all video from the night of the incident was unrecoverable.
Thank you, Sergeant Webb. Any questions from any of the alders? Sergeant Webb, do we have any information of what, you know, you don't have anybody in custody or anything for this either?
No.
All right. And is that the only thing on the report that jumps out at you?
Yeah, for that report, but also remember last time, you guys wanted a capacity check done for 509 6th Street.
Oh, and okay, and how was that?
Okay, so I had the off-duty personnel that works there, and on January 23rd, they conducted a capacity check for the bar. The officer advised that the license was posted, the capacity sign displayed 80, which was their normal number, and he observed that at the time he observed 15 to 20 patrons in the bar.
So, okay, well, that would be all right then, so. Okay. Alderman Peterson?
Is there a method to, without bringing somebody in for concern as to talking to TGBs as far as video problems or video problems going forward? Because obviously if they have a problem, this is something that should not happen going forward. I mean, how do we address that without bringing them to committee?
Well, I think being that it was a shooting incident, I mean, we brought people in for these other times, and I guess I think a motion would be in order to have them come in and explain what happened. You know, and hope that this video thing wasn't just a fluke.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and there's nothing else on there, so I guess for the report, I would entertain a motion to receive and file. To receive and file.
Motion to receive and file.
Got a second? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? No. All right. Thank you guys very much, and welcome to the committee, Mr. Pete. And we stand adjourned. So, take care.